Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we're going to be looking at this position. It is white to move and win. So now we're gonna scan the position first. As you can see right now, black has a pawn on a2 ready to promote on the next move. So we have to make a forcing move. So that means no knight move and no king move. We have to move the rook and give a check. That's very obvious. But black has three options to go to. Let's start with the move king to b3. What's going to happen after this move? Well, as you can see, the king moved away from the defense of the a1 square. So now we can go back to c1 with the rook, and he cannot promote. If he played king to b2, attacking the rook and also supporting this push, we have to defend our rook. Now we have two ways of defending the rook. Knight to e2 and king to d2. Moving the rook away is not good because he's going to promote, and then we have to sack the rook for it, right? So if we played knight here, he's going to promote. Of course, we should not allow a queen whenever we take. He takes with the king. For example, we play knight here, and then after a series of moves, it's going to be a draw because we have to sack the knight for the pawn. That's why we don't defend with the knight, we defend with the king. And also this move defends and allows the knight to jump to d3. So this is a really good move, right? Okay. Now black has many options. He can go to b3 and he can push the pawn. The move that makes more sense is actually to promote, because whenever he moves like here, we have knight to d3, and as you can see, the king is not allowed to get in, and he cannot promote, so he's going to be losing this game. That's why after king to d2, he's going to promote, and it's best for him to do it, to promote to a queen, because now he's threatening to win the rook. Now if we took here, that's not actually good for us, because either it's going to be a stalemate or a draw, because we have to sack the knight for the pawn. We should not allow him to go here and push and promote, right? So we don't take the queen. We play knight to d3 check. Now if he moved up, king to b3, we simply just take the queen and we are completely winning this endgame. Okay, but what if he went king to a2? What's going to happen here? See, giving him a check, again, he can just probably move. We have another check. It's not possible because that's a free rook. We give him another check here, for example. He can just continue to move, and there's a queen at the end of at the end of the day. He's going to have a lot of checks, and he's going to be winning. So, but as well, we don't take the queen because this is still a draw. So we don't take the queen, and we don't give this check. The most reasonable move is to give knight to b4 check. Now after this check, he can move up and he can go to b2. Let's see what happens when he plays king to b3. Here we simply just take the queen, because whenever he takes the knight, we simply play king to c2, and now the king cannot support the pawn to push. He goes to a4, we play king to c3, and at the end of the day he's forced to move away, and we win. This is a winning endgame. So that's why he's going to play king to b2. Okay, so after king to b2, what can we do? Well, if we played a check, he can just, move around or maybe escape, away. The only move that we have in this position is to actually, yes, is to take the queen. Now you might say, well, before we said we are not supposed to take the queen. Well, that was a different position. In this exact position, it is okay for us to take the queen, because whenever he takes it, we don't play a check, the king will be able to run. So we have to play a move that, restricts the enemy king. If we played king to c2 is not good, because the king cannot move, and after this a2 move, it's going to be stalemate. Whenever we move the knight, it's stalemate. And if we move the king, we're allowing him to go here, and we have to, take care, and this is a draw, right? So we don't play king to c2. We play king to c1. As you can see, the black king cannot move, cannot go here, here, or here. And the only legal move that he has is a2. It's a really beautiful checkmate, knight to c2 check. But this only if he went to b3. Okay, let's look what's going to happen if he went, for example, to a1. If he went to a1, he cannot push any of his pawns, right? And now we have to make a really strong move to get one of the pieces in. For example, we play knight to e2. He gets his king closer, ready to promote, but we play knight to c3 check. King moves to the corner, only square, and then a really beautiful Arabian mate, rook to a2, check. Now, there's only another move for him. After this check, he can go to b1. Now what's going to happen after king to b1? We actually play the exact same move, knight to e2. But here, he can actually promote. Yes, he can promote. We don't play this check. We actually play knight to c3 check. As you can see, the king cannot move. And he's forced to give away the queen. Now we have two moves here. Either to take with the rook or with the king. If we take with the rook, it's going to push his pawn. We have to stop it. And this is a draw, unfortunately. So, we don't take with the rook, we take with the king. He pushes the pawn, and then we have to play a check on b2. Yes. So now if he went to c1, it's very obvious, we just take the pawn, and this is a winning endgame. But what if he went to the corner? If we move the king, for example, to c2 or to b3, this is going to be a stalemate. So the best move here is to move the rook away anywhere else except the c2 square. For example, if we went here, can just play king to b1, and we just have to repeat the move. So we just play rook to d2, rook to e2, f2, g2. It does not matter, because he's forced to move only one square, and it is king to b1. And after king to b1, rook to g1, checkmate. Thank you for watching.